feel free to jump in with points. That's where this show actually gets good. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Hypocritics.
The show doesn't get good.
Yes, it does. Eventually. Welcome to Hypocritics. Today we're talking about Antiheroes, another Cracked Studios production. And to be honest, it's a little bit disappointing. That's not to say it's a bad show. By the standards of web series in general, it's actually a really, really great show. It's just by the standards of cracked shows, it's not a very good show at all. I suppose it's funny. I mean, I'm sure I laughed the first time I watched it. But it's just a little bit flat. There's no real depth to it. They ignore the rich possibilities you have when you're talking about people getting superpowers. Not even talking about superheroics. They just kind of ignore the fact that they have powers in favor of making a commentary on what people would do if they did have powers. So there's no real fun, and they kind of waste all of the charisma of their cast. And make no mistake, this cast has tremendous charisma. Charisma to spare. Buckets of charisma.
Gallons of kegs of
It's
charisma.
just oozing from every orifice.
Yeah.
The charisma.
They're like just exploding with charisma.
Please don't make your motions from that low down.
This is the only place I make my motions from. Is it different for you?
So what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, don't go to me.
Let's discuss.
I think what makes the show difficult to enjoy to a certain extent is its distinct lack of identity. It doesn't understand what it is. And I picked it up, I didn't realize that I picked it up from the beginning because I didn't know what it was, but I knew something was out of place when I started watching the first episode. And it's just popped into my head then. It doesn't know what it is. And
it's like you're watching an article from Cracked without the framework of, say, an everyday discussion you'd get in a Today's Topic or After Hours.
Yeah.
So it lacks the conversational tone.
That's right.
But it's still like you're watching an article.
It's not uncommon for a Cracked series to do this article style exposition or exploration of a topic. Rom.com does this exceptionally well. It delivers the same kind of information that an article on a topic will give, but it does it with so much more finesse than Antiheroes.
This is the odd thing about it. The jokes are funny, the writing has got some good bits, there's some okay directing in there. Some of the cinematography is interesting, the lighting is nice, but because it's unsure of what it is, I can't buy into any of those things, despite the fact that the production values are pretty high.
Yeah. And that's the thing you've got to remember. We don't really repeat it very often because it goes without saying Cracked productions are really, really good in terms of value. Production value is tremendous on all Cracked Studios productions.
I think the production value is what really brings it up a notch. Because this is essentially a show about lazy people. They're lazy when they start. They're not doing their work. When they get superpowers, they neglect them. They just use them for stupid stuff, and they keep rejecting the call to action. So essentially it's a show about normal people's laziness and their indifference to heroics, which I thought thematically is kind of interesting here. The way the production value of this show, which is quite high, lifts this show out of being just a lazy show, is that there's obviously a lot of effort put into the making of this show. Antiheroes really parodies the genre to a stupid extent. I mean, it says, well, I guess I can heal myself now.
Yes, that's the one thing that I really disliked on every single viewing I've had of this show. The way they reveal their superpowers, all of a sudden they just know. And I feel like it's supposed to be this hilarious joke. But every single time they say it, I'm just...
It's just they forgot to fill in the plot
it's
points.
like the writer forgot to give a good reason. And they just... All of a sudden they know that they can do these things. And it doesn't help with Cody Johnston's delivery. Oh, guess who can heal himself now?
I think the show, as a parody, is perhaps one or two stages removed from where the collective understanding of the audience is at. Like, we know superhero movies, and we have certain expectations of the genre. A new superhero will discover their power through a series of events or a coincidence or something.
It almost feels...
And then this show, Antiheroes, goes and skips a step of parody where it's like, oh, okay, we've reduced that discovery period down, and now with Antiheroes, it's just, oh, intuitively, I know this now. And the audience has no path into that.
It almost feels like a cynical teenager.
Who's also stupid.
Yeah, like the embodiment of a cynical teenager trying to be ironic, but to the point where he doesn't know he's being ironic anymore. So there you have it. Overall, this show is actually pretty good, in spite of everything we've said. It's just that from Crack Studios, you usually get something of a much higher caliber. I'm going to put a link in the description below if you want to watch a playlist. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to PVC Productions, and let us know what you guys think of Antiheroes. What's the handsome guy's name? I always forget.
It's like you're trying to get us to say which one we think is handsome.
No, he's known.
I
as
don't
the Crack-
appreciate that.